Hey, welcome to Unstoppable Agents. This is the show where real estate agents come to grow their business, grow their wealth, and grow a life of impact and significance. I'm super excited today. I get a chance to speak to Henry Eisenstein from Redbank, New Jersey. Did I get that right?
You got that right, my friend.
Yes, nailed it. Okay, great. Henry, I'm super glad to have you here. And by the way, congratulations on your achievement of icon status this past May. Congratulations, and I'm glad to have you here.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
So, Henry, I'd love to just jump right in. I want to learn more about you. Tell me about your real estate.
Let's see. I was licensed right after I quit my corporate job at the time at 20.
Okay.
I got licensed by accident because a buddy of mine lied to me about how much money he was making. And then my first 2 years were rough. I never made more than 40 grand for those first 2 years. But in my second year, I had worked for an awesome team that had taught me everything about prospect. And I did about 16 million on their team, but I had signed a pretty poor contract. So I only made like 39 and a half grand.
Yeah, that's rough, especially if a prospecting-based business, if you're creating that.
100%. Don't get me wrong. A lot of their business was a lot of the income and deals were coming from them. That's why I made so little. But I learned a valuable skill and went to a Tony Robbins event and my whole life changed. And my coach, my Tony Robbins coach basically said to me, hey, listen, kid, because I quit the business. I actually quit the business 2 years into it because I was so fed up.
Yeah.
And at the time I had 4 or 5 different companies, all not making any money, but I got to put CEO or a serial entrepreneur in my Instagram handle. So that made it worth it. And my coach basically said, listen, kid, I'm 23. He's like, what 23-year-old kid or what 23-year-old kid has ever become super successful having 5 different companies at the time? I was like, not a single person I've ever studied. He goes, you're probably not going to be. Thankfully, he said that. And I got back in the real estate game, but for myself this time, I started my own team. First year, I made $150. Second year, I made $450. The following year, I made 700 and $1 million plus. And my whole life's changed this industry has changed my life.
What I love about that is you decided to be a master of something and focus on one thing and do that well. We'll talk more about this, but you've gone on to add other things, but you did that after mastering the one thing. Yes. And then expanding from there. So that's terrific. Would you, for agents that are starting out, sure, would you recommend that they join a team and when they're getting started?
I coach now. I actually have a coaching company that I do on the side. It's not a full-time thing. So I get a lot of newer agents that I've mentored a lot, and I'm sure you have too. But I'm torn. Like I think if they're the right team, I think a team is great. If they have good splits, they really good, give you good mentorship, they give you some decent leads. I definitely think a team is a good thing. Okay. However, I just don't think it's good for a long time. It's not a forever plan.
Yeah, and I think if you're on a good team and they structure it with, hey, how do we help you get up and running and get started? And then at companies like EXP, it's great. And then you could transition off to do your own thing and the leader's still incentivized and we're all agent owners here. So everybody's happy for everybody else to be successful.
1000%. That's why we're here.
That's awesome. So what if you were to go back to your new agent self and offer advice, what would you tell yourself? What have you learned that you would tell your new agent self?
Get on the phone faster and don't be such a wimp about it, because I was terrified to get on the phone in the beginning. But it changed I learned mastering prospecting changed my life. And I'll say 3 things. Number 1, get on the phone. Number 2, network sooner and treat your network like it's the most important thing in your business, period. This is a relationship-based business. I would be nothing without my relationships. And the last thing is be smarter with your money. I made a lot of money at a very young age and I was not very good with it. Wish I was as smart as I am with my money now. It would have been a lot better.
That's great. It's a funny thing. I certainly enjoy making money. I enjoy keeping it more, whether that's from taxes or for making smarter investments or whatever.
I agree.
And enjoy not throwing it away more and seeing it grow and seeing the impact that it can make. You mentioned having a team. So what does that look like? Like, how's your team structured? What's your approach in the market?
Yeah, what's interesting is that I've had a couple mentors in my life that really guided me well. And so 18 months ago, actually, I'll even say this, right? During COVID, which I lost everything. I don't know about you, but like I lost everything. I was not in a very good cash heavy position, but I lost everything. I had 10 employees at the time, full time, like 10. It was a big operation. And then I lost everything, built it back up to my best year ever. I'm sure everyone else did great. And at the end of January of last year, I had back up to about 10 people. And then my mentor said, hey, there's a recession coming. You need to be real smart. So I started laying off employees slowly. And now I literally have 2 full-time employees and a bunch of agents that they're showing agents, and that's really it. So lean and mean now, lean and mean.
Right on. I love it. So if you're good with it, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the showing agent model. So why did you how do you have that structured? Are you paying per showing, or is there a split for that? What's your setup? I'm always fascinated by the different models in our business.
Yeah, so out in New Jersey, it works a little bit better if I keep them on so like they're a full-time employee. They make anywhere between $15 and $18 an hour typically, plus $1,000 bonus per transaction.
Okay, right on.
I've seen in the more luxury markets that you could probably get away with doing like a 35% cut off the top, or just a commission basis. I've seen that be successful. By me, it's just, and actually, when there was no buyer business, I got rid of it. I just completely cut out my showing assistant model. I brought him back about 60 days ago because we're starting to see it open up a little bit.
Yeah, that's great. And it really is one of the things that people don't talk about in our business is they talk about the big production numbers. Hey, I sold X million in this award level or whatever it is, but that most often profit's not considered, right? It's not about how much did you earn.
It's weird. No one talks about money that way. It's all about volume.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah, it's all about volume. It's really more about how much did you keep. So you're a prospecting based business. So what does prospecting look like for you? Is that FSBOs and expireds? What does prospecting look like for you?
Yeah, so I was the expired king back in the day, back in my prime of prospecting. It's changed a lot. I've transitioned a lot into the commercial world, like we were talking about prior. And so I typically do a lot of circle prospecting, but on motivated commercial lists. So I'm prospecting larger multifamily warehouse space out in Jersey and in Texas.
Okay, right on. And I know I asked you this earlier, but so tell me about the commercial business that you do. What's interesting to you? And are you looking for investors to come into deals with you, or just looking for your own deals? Yeah,
so what we have set up now for the commercial world is we've built a separate company, which is a commercial wholesaling business. Okay. I take down a lot of stuff. Like I just bought a 10 family, not too far from me. So we keep the best stuff. We flip the middle, or assign the middle stuff, the things that still have decent prices but are not great. And then the stuff that are really just average retail stuff, we'll just list it for sale. Basically what you'd be doing, because when I started my own team, like I told you, I got really heavily into the investor business. So it just was a huge part of what I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with it. And I made a lot of investors a lot of money, but they gave me education in return. So I was very happy. Yeah. And now if I could do nothing else, I just want to be on the investment side. So that's what we're building now.
So real estate's the ultimate business in that in so many other industries, if you have inside information, then you go to prison. In real estate, if you've got inside information, if you've got better expertise, if you've got knowledge of situations that people can benefit from, then you're the most successful. So that's a beautiful thing. So it sounds like you've taken that investment knowledge and used it to the benefit of you and your clients. So that's terrific.
I always found it funny when realtors don't own any real estate.
Yeah, it's telling, really. I had another question just about you and EXP. So you didn't start with EXP. You started at another brokerage, or maybe bounced between several brokerages. What was it about EXP that attracted you, and how long have you been here?
Yes, I've been here 2 years. Been here 2 years, and actually I was invited about a year and a half before I made the switch. I ended up going with the same guy, but you go test the waters. I'm going to be safe over here with my previous company because it's comfortable and blah, blah. I don't believe the numbers are real. They're beyond real. And it's funny because just the stock options alone, if I would have left when I should have left when he did, I would have, I think I've done the numbers enough times where it was probably around $500,000 that I would have, because it was right before the spike. It was right before the spike, so it would have been nice.
Stop doing the numbers. That's not. Dang it!
Kicking myself, man. I'm kicking myself.
But the good news, and it's funny how often we hear that story. So the most often thing said is, "I just wish I would have joined sooner." But you joined when you did, and it's still a great time. Now we're adding 1,000 people a week. We'll add almost as many this year as we had in the company last year. So pretty phenomenal. So what was it? You saw something that eventually grabbed you. What was it that made the difference for you after you evaluated for a while?
Yeah, once I got out of my head about the culture being as in I really liked my broker, or I liked people in my office, and you look at it as a business and you just say, where can I make the most money? Where do I have the most opportunity? Where is there the best training for agents that I bring in? Where is there the best of every category?
Yeah.
It's hard to beat what we got.
That's exactly right. It just adds up. So you're just going down the list. You're like, okay, now that I've done this, and that's even before you get to. I think we're often known for the attraction piece, and the whole other rest of the deal, the tools to grow your business, the wealth building tools of stock, the healthcare, the lead generation tools, all of the other things are significantly better just game changing and innovative. And that's before you even get to the
I always
piece
find
that
it,
goes on top.
I agree. I find it like the funniest thing to me is when people complain about the agent attraction stuff, because I'm like, every brokerage does it. We just get paid for it.
Yeah.
Every company, like it's part of the model. Like you have to bring more agents there, but it's like, why is it so strange when we do it? Because we get paid for it. Makes no sense.
Do you have a cause or a mission there in Redbank that where you like to serve or where you like to give back that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yes, I'm actually on the board of CPC Behavioral Healthcare. It's a mental health organization. I was bullied for many years, on the verge of suicide for many years. Like it definitely came from a dark past, and I was able to power through it, and a lot of people don't. So I take a lot of time and to give back and speak and try to help those who are going through hard times.
Man, I appreciate that. I think mental health is maybe the biggest challenge facing our society right now, particularly with the youth, but across the board. We've certainly, my family has struggled with that and been impacted with that. So thank you for giving back and serving that way.
Yeah, and I think it's not only commonly not talked about, but it's also commonly shunned as to speak about with people. It's almost like weird to say, hey, like I'm struggling a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
And if you're making like my family made it weird. Like my family was like, we don't talk. It's everything's fine. It made me start saying I'm fine. Nothing's fine. You shouldn't just settle with fine. Life is short, right? Why can't things be great all the time? Why can't things be good? I'm not saying life's always just sunshine and rainbows, but it definitely doesn't have to be fine.
Yeah, and sometimes it's bad. Yeah. Sometimes it's like, hey, sometimes it's just bad. Okay, let's just not stay there. And if we say it's fine, then we're ignoring it and just staying there. So let's make it great, but first you have to call it not fine for you to be able to do anything about it. So man, that's awesome. I appreciate that. Anything in terms of parting words? Anything you'd like to leave with our audience?
Nothing but just listen, get in the business, hit it as hard as you can. Like the biggest regret I feel like people have in this business is that they didn't give it as much as they could. And then buy some damn real estate. Don't wait to buy real estate and wait. Get involved in the game.
That's good. I think wealth building is it's a long-term game, right? It's not an overnight thing. So whether it's buying real estate, whether it's getting to EXP, we're all agent owners and we get stock. So you get the stock, and then 2 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, hopefully it grows, and then it's a long-term wealth building game. Take the long-term view, give it all you got, and it'll give back to you in the long run.
That is for sure. You don't want to be a realtor forever, but if you don't do something about it, you will be.
That's good. That's good. Henry, man, I enjoyed spending some time with you. Thank you for joining me today.
Likewise, Brian. Thank you so much.